There is a very simple way to pick up stitches along the side edge of the fabric without forming a bulky ridge like this one. All we have to do is pick up stitches from inside the edge stitch as opposed to the space that is between the first and the second stitches from the edge of the fabric. Here's how it happens. With the right side of the work facing you, insert the tip of the right needle from front to back into the first stitch from the edge of the fabric. So basically we are aiming at one strand away from the edge of the fabric. Then take the yarn, fold it, and place this fold onto the tip of the right needle, and then pull it through the fabric, making your first picked up stitch. And then go into the next space that would be along the same line inside the first stitch from the edge of the fabric, but in the next row. And then wrap the yarn around the tip of the right needle the same way as you do when you knit a stitch. So if you prefer to hold yarn in your right hand, then you will do it like this. If you usually hold yarn in your left hand, then you would simply pick the strand like this and pull it through the stitch, forming a nice picked up stitch. Because the yarn is not attached to the fabric in any way, as we keep picking up stitches, we would notice that the first stitches get loose because the yarn is loose, right? To prevent that, we can align the yarn tail and the working yarn and use these two strands together as we make our second picked up stitch. So we go into the fabric, wrap the yarn around the tip of the right needle, but we wrap both strands, the tail and the working yarn, like this, and then pull these both wraps through the fabric. Of course, this stitch is twice as thick as the other stitches, but considering that it keeps other stitches from unraveling or at least loosening, that's not such a big deal, right? And now we let go of the tail and we use the working yarn to pick up more stitches. Just remember to work these two strands together in the next row around. As we keep picking up stitches, there is always a question: how many stitches to pick up and how shall we space them to avoid the flared fabric like the one over here? The rule of thumb is to pick up one stitch from every ridge of garter stitch fabric. And if the base fabric is stockinette, as is the case over here, then we pick up 3 stitches and skip 1 stitch. So I picked up 3, and now I'm not gonna go in here and pick up a stitch from there. I'm gonna skip this space and go into the next stitch, just like this. And then I do it 2 more times before I skip the next stitch. So here's how it looks. If your base fabric is worked in a different stitch pattern, or if you don't want to have these little gaps between the stitches, then pick up stitches from every stitch of the fabric and adjust the number of stitches to your target number in the next row around by making decreases or increases. If you know that you will be picking up stitches from an edge, it's better not to use any type of selvedges because it's usually less confusing to pick up stitches from a raw edge than it is from picking up stitches from the edge with selvedges. To get the full tutorial about this method, go to 10rowsday.com/pickup-stitches-vertical-edge. Happy knitting, my friend. I'll talk to you in the next tutorial.